Hi everyone, it's Jennifer from Fiberflux. In this video, I will show you how to crochet a one round butterfly. This is a super easy little project, and you can use this for any of your spring decor or as a little applique. And it's simply just a one round butterfly shape, and then I've added a little piece of ribbon to make the butterfly's antenna. For this project, you'll need some worsted weight yarn. I'm using Red Heart Super Saver in the shocking pink today. And I used Red Heart Super Saver for these other butterflies as well. This is the turquoise, the lavender, and the bright yellow. And then you'll also need some narrow ribbon. This is 3mm wide satin ribbon. I'm going to use just some aqua colored ribbon today. And I used the same ribbon in different colors for some of these other butterflies. You'll also need a 5mm H crochet hook, a pair of scissors, and a tapestry needle. Each butterfly measures roughly 2 inches wide and about 1.5 inches tall, minus the ribbon. The ribbon was added later. So let's get started. We're going to begin the butterfly form first, and then later we'll be doing the finish work and adding this little ribbon to the top. To begin, we're going to put a slip knot on our hook. To make a slip knot, wrap the yarn around your fingers to make a loop. Bring the yarn behind that loop, reach in with your crochet hook, and bring up a loop. And then go ahead and tighten. We're going to create the ring that we'll be working all the stitches into. So to do that, chain 4, wrap yarn around hook, bring it through the loop. That's 1, 2, 3, and 4. In the chain farthest from the hook, we're going to work a slip stitch. Insert the hook into the farthest chain from your hook and bring up a loop. Bring that loop through the loop that's already on your hook. We now have the ring that we'll be working all of our stitches into. So we're going to be working counterclockwise. So we're going to start with this top part of the wing, then come down, then around and back up and finish in the center. I also wanted to mention that this little tail here, I'm going to hold along the edge as I work, and that will weave that tail in as you go. Okay, so to begin, we're going to be working all of our stitches into the center of this ring. So we're going to begin by working a double crochet, wrap your yarn around hook, insert it into the center of the ring, bring up a loop, wrap yarn around hook, bring it through the first 2 loops, wrap yarn around hook, bring it through the last 2 loops. Then we're going to work 2 treble crochets into the center of the ring. So to work a treble crochet, wrap yarn around hook 2 times, insert it into the center of the ring, bring up a loop. Yarn around hook, bring it through the first 2 loops, yarn around hook, bring it through the next 2 loops, yarn around hook, bring it through the last 2 loops. That's how you work the treble crochet. Then make another treble crochet. Then make a double crochet. Just get a little more yarn. Then we're going to work a slip stitch. Insert the hook into the center, bring up a loop. Bring that loop through the loop already on your hook. And if you notice, I'm kind of pushing this stuff aside as I work. We're going to be working lots of stitches into the center, so you might need to slide things over a little bit as you work. Then we're going to work 3 half double crochets into the center, yarn around hook, insert the hook into the center, bring up a loop. Yarn around hook, bring the hook through all 3 loops. So we'll work 3 of those. So that was 1, 2, and 3. Then we'll just push things over if you need to. Again, I'm holding this tail along the edge as I work. Then we're going to work a slip stitch. Then again, 3 half double crochets into the center. So 1, 2, and 3. Push things over if you need to. Work a slip stitch and we have the bottom and the side of our butterfly finished. So then to finish up the top right part of the butterfly, work a double crochet and then 2 treble crochets. We're just mirroring what we did when we started. And then work your next treble crochet and then a double crochet. Okay, so then we're going to work to kind of round off this last part of the wing. We're going to work a slip stitch into the center, and then we're going to join with a slip stitch into the other wing to kind of finish off the round and connect everything together. Just work a slip stitch and join it that way. Then you can take your scissors and just trim the yarn. Go ahead and fasten that off. Now you need to shape it up a little bit because these one round projects are really small. They can look kind of lumpy when you're finishing. You have to kind of shape it up, doctor it up a little bit. So this tail that we wove in as we went along, you can pull that very, very tightly, and that will close up this hole a little bit. And then just trim and shape everything up. And then you still have one more tail, so just take your tapestry needle, thread that, and then flip it over to the back, and then just come in one direction, and then come in the other direction. Now if you're going to sew this onto something as an applique, you can just leave this tail intact and use that little piece of yarn to sew it on to something. Okay, and then just cut. And then you might want to just kind of shape up these wings a little bit. Just make sure all these parts are nice and neat looking. Okay, so the main part of our butterfly is complete. So let's add this top antenna part. So I have here, again, this is 3mm satin ribbon. You can use anything you like, whatever you have on hand. I did a little bit of experimentation and I found that this narrower ribbon seemed to look a little bit nicer. But definitely feel free. You could even use wire or a pipe cleaner, something like that. So all I did was I threaded my ribbon onto my tapestry needle, and then you're just going to insert the needle right into the center top kind of dip part of this this butterfly, just right in that center part. Okay, and then just pull your ribbon through. Now I cut mine a little bit big, so you'll probably have lots of leftovers if you cut it this big. You don't necessarily have to cut it this large. So we're just going to kind of center it on there, make sure you like the placement. Then take and just make a knot. Nice, neat, pretty knot on top. And then tighten that knot down all the way to the bottom base of your butterfly here. If you need to tighten things up a bit, that's okay. So we have really long strands, so we're just going to, what I did too was kind of pulled these into the shape of a V a little bit, just to kind of make them look more like antennae. Okay, so then you can just trim, and I find that trimming my ribbon at an angle makes it look nice and neat as well. So you just kind of trim that at an angle. Make sure the sides, each side is symmetrical. And our butterfly is complete. So it's very, very easy to make these butterflies. And that is how you crochet one round butterflies. Thanks so much for watching, and be sure and click the subscribe button to get all the latest Fiberflux video updates. Thanks again!